Can you talk a little bit about what the design, what people should expect, and also just integrating it into their fleets and things like that?
Yeah. So the wheel bearings we have are, they're drop-in replacements for some of the existing trucks out there. Our engineers have worked in some cases to incorporate more rollers, larger rollers, so we have excess capacity compared to the competition that's out there for the standard parts. And then so you got pin type cages, you got stamped steel cages, and then they go, and from us, we can do them from about a 10-inch bore to about a 42-inch OD.
Okay.
So what you're looking over there is on the larger side. The big one is the 42-inch bearing.
The go-to-market with these, is this going directly to RBC, or is their dealer networks? What's the setup for go-to-market?
So we will sell to, we would sell to the OEMs. We're not on the OEMs for the large wheel bearings.
Right. Okay.
So our market right now is kind of more the MRO and repair shops.
Right. Okay. And scaling it up as you push into the market. So.
Yep.
And then what about longevity for those in comparison to is it depending on environment? Where would you put this as opposed to this?
So they are drop-in replacements, the same size. They can go anywhere. Now, if you properly grease a bearing in the intervals that you should, and it's properly sized, properly loaded.
Which everyone does all the time.
Right.
Right.
Then it would absolutely last to your expected life.
Right.
But when that doesn't happen for various reasons, then you get accelerated wear and premature failures.
Right.
And that's where the maintenance-free liners ensure you always have lubrication in the load zone.
And so would it last a comparable amount of time to this being lubricated properly? Would the Teflon ones last similar amount of times? Yeah. Okay. Wow. And so now, like the OEMs in that, they must be putting. I don't know. I don't think I'd call those legacy bearings, but this is fairly new. How long has this been in the market?
So probably about 5 or 6 years. It's been.
That's pretty new.
Pretty new in the mining market.
Yeah, for mining.
Now it was developed from our aerospace side of the business, where it's been in the aerospace and the airplanes that you're flying around for years.
Oh,
and that's kind of where it was developed. But that's a very different operating environment. That's extreme hot and colds, very clean environment.
Yeah.
When you're taking off and landing, you're not driving through the mud. And
so these would these have a slightly different sealing system in that?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Yep. And that's really over the last 5 to 6 years what we focused a lot of our engineering efforts and development.
Getting it sealed so that there's not, because getting a little bit in there could cause issues. Yeah.
Yeah. You get debris in a line system and it will tear that liner apart.
So maintenance on these is essentially zero then, or what?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That seems that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and it retrofits in. Okay. The other thing I want to talk to you is just about obviously these machines in the mining space, they take a real beating that maybe like no other industry does. How is strength in comparison? Are they similar?
So they're made with the same steel.
Okay.
And you're talking about these bearings getting a beating. Well, certain positions, may not see all these impact loads, but other ones, take a rear strut or a nose cone or maybe an equalizer bar on a dozer. Those ones, they get jammed all the time and you can get fractured bearings.
Yeah. So
we got 2 different types of steels that we mainly put in these bearings, a 52-100 through hardened, which is kind of the standard one.
52-100?
Yep.
Okay.
And then there's an 8620 case carburized one, which is impact resistant.
Okay. And what is this? Oh, sorry.
That's exactly what this is going to show. So you got the case carburized one has a hard surface on the outside for your wear resistance.
Okay.
But then it has a soft inside so it can take a beating and not fracture.
So it does need to flex.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
It's got to be able to, as you hit a pothole, it's got to be able to absorb. If it shatters when you hit a pothole with a loaded truck.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to pull that truck out of service. And that's where the 8620 can absorb that load. But with the hard service, you're not sacrificing wear.